Blessings. Yo, this shit came across my head. They really do want to put a face on. Let me make sure this is on a video length. They really do want to put a face on not only struggle, but poverty, religion, tradition, custom, individual, independent. And they want to put a face on spirituality. They want to put a face on drug addicts. They want to put a face on alcoholics. And it's just odd as to how many faces just the same as mine. But yeah, same tone. It's just some people really want to put people against people by way of what looks better, or what is the look to what is the definition of whatever look they're looking for. Whereas if you don't fit it, if you don't look the part, you are not yourself. You're supposed to dress the part of whatever the fuck, you know. Therefore, if you don't look the part, you must be something else, whereas you can't be original to yourself. You can't be authentic to what it is that is you. You got to be the same as everyone else. And that is the actual, wow, that is the fucking psychological war that they are putting on spirituality, that they are putting on religion, that they are putting on tradition, that they are putting on the actual individual. You have to have a look. You just can't be looking like yourself. You have to have this. You just can't have for yourself. And you must go after this because you're not allowed to go after it yourself. The mentality of the mirror image really is to know oneself, because most people really want to tell you who you are, because you're supposed to have a look as to what you're supposed to look like. And that is by way of how they want you to look. And the sad thing is that everybody is individuals, unless you want to be paired up with what it is that you probably is uncomfortable with, probably don't even want nothing to do with. But they want to break people. They want to really hurt people by way of their minds, because they want you to look the same. They want you to act the same. They want you to be the same. They want you to feel the same by way of feeling powerless because you don't. They want you to feel guilty because you don't want to. And they really want you to feel devalued because you're really not chasing to look like anything else other than yourself, or anyone else other than yourself. But the separation is the fact that some people do believe that you should look like, this because you did go through that, or you should look like this. You should have this on because, you are in this traditional, spiritual, religious thing, whereas you could just be yourself. Because when you unzip the human skin, your energy, there's no fucking clothing to it. It's just a ball of energy. So just imagine trying to put a face on energy. It's called the human skin, but not everybody is as human as we think they are. We all come to this earth to really know how to be human, and we teach each other how to be human, but not all wants to stay human. Some still want to feed the beast. They want to feed the system. They want to program and condition and groom individuals, from young all the way up until however age, mentally, to fall into the lust, the power, and the greed. And there are pygmies, and there are fucking us monkeys that will continue to feed off not only you, but try to feed you to the system, all because you choose to be an individual, all because you choose to not put a face on what it is that you're trying to define you to be. And those are the ones with the behind the mask, you know, the ones that when they put the mask down, when they go behind closed doors, they are exactly who they're trying to paint you out to be without the mask on. They want you to act as if you are the ones with the masks on, but portray you to be the masked one. Ain't this some fucking psychological shit? But all it is supposed to and is meant to really not only destroy you inwardly, but express it in a way that you spread that disease of not only hate, but the fact that you shouldn't be an individual, the fact that you shouldn't think for yourself, the fact that you shouldn't even dress for yourself, or that you should move for yourself. You're supposed to move with everyone else. You're supposed to think like everyone else, and you're supposed to do like everyone else too. And if you don't, they'll manipulate you, they'll gaslight you, they'll love bomb you, They'll do some sneaky shit in order to make it seem like you actually do. Hundreds and hundreds of years later, the story still seems the same. You just got to find your role in the narrative that they've been trying to proclaim has been yours, ours, the people, for such a long time, since they actually came flying on stage, playing both roles, trying to confuse people as to who they are and who they should be. And those that truly do play at the table by chopping up people to try to play with their lives by fragmenting the pieces, chewing them and eating, it makes sense of the movies. It makes sense by the TV, because who they bring up and what they bring up at the table is exactly what they chop it up for. And they drink with pleasure. And that's the way, that's a tradition that's been going on since way before, as to who makes it where and who makes it to do what and how and for how long. They try to cap people just like they cap the people. If they do this, they go to jail. If they do that, they go here. If they do that, they must do this. And they will be rehabbed to be human again. And if they don't, they get to stay in a cage. But some of it is a mental cage, all because of the manipulation by way of the energy and the words and people, places, and things that at most tables, most rooms, you're not even invited to or at to sit where they sit, to even be in the same rooms as them. But your names are always being spoken and your name is always being chopped up at the table. And they're drinking, sharing your name for fun. Ongoing from years and years and years, from Bible on to now in present day. No matter how and how many ways they switch around the words, there's still a Judas in every table. There's still a Judas at every line and everyone's lifeline. Their timeline is just knowing who is the Judas in everyone's timeline, because of the fact that there's always one to a few. It's just that how many is that there is to the few that will choose to be the pick-me and the buyer of the Klondike bars, all to not only feed themselves, but the system too. For the system to continue is the same thing as the pyramid. Oh shit. Yeah. The sacrifices, depending on the stories, to feed the gods, to feed the beast, for the continuation of the system. You got to feed them in blood. So whatever hurts you deep down inside, and however way they can do it to penetrate the heart, cut the heart in pieces so that you can take those pieces of that broken heart into everyone else to break their hearts too, by any means necessary. It's just a continuation of the slave mentality. Know what the Most High got you. Have a good one. Bye.